Welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel, everyone. This is Rich making another video on XRP today, as usual. So wherever you are in this vast planet, I hope you're all having a nice day today. I have to start with this from the crypto basic before we discuss XRP. You would have to be crazy, according to experts, to believe that Bitcoin is a better investment than XRP. The return on investment from XRP will be far higher than that from Bitcoin. Even in the most optimistic situation, a 2x return on investment is the most that somebody purchasing Bitcoin now might hope for. And a simple 10x is XRP. The majority of people anticipate that XRP will increase by 20 to 50 times. However, it goes beyond that. Because XRP genuinely has a use case and benefit, it is a better investment. Bitcoin is useless. It is too costly and too sluggish. Everyday cryptocurrency markets capture more than $1 billion. Bitcoin falls below $100,000. Additionally, individuals will never stop arguing that Bitcoin is the best store of value that we will ever see. However, everything that occurs in the actual world happens so quickly. It's not a good value store, it is a good store of value only. When there is no activity, however, as soon as a crisis of any kind arises, it's over. Bitcoin is collapsing, and we have often witnessed that. Additionally, we are currently in the process of switching to a gold-backed system. The black swan capitalist is the source of this. Basel III is being used to reclassify gold. There's a reason central banks are purchasing it. It is no longer merely a hedge. It serves as a new system's cornerstone. Listen to this video clip. We are currently experiencing a massive paradigm change, where the long buy is not a flight to high-quality assets, and where funds are not entering the U.S. All of a sudden, gold is the preferred asset, considering that Costco sells gold at retail and is unable to maintain inventory. Additionally, gold has decreased in value from when it was trading around $1,800 per ounce not too long ago. And it went straight up after it crossed the $2,000 mark. The current amount is essentially a third of $10,333 or 3,333.33 cents. Actually, it was when I glanced at it. Gold, in my opinion, is a legitimate asset class. It's no longer for crazy speculators and survivalists. It is considered a class of assets. Additionally, central banks have been hoarding gold. Due to central banks selling it down for 10 years or more, gold was trapped in the muck. They have repurchased everything. And the central banks have repurchased it all because they intend to use it to support a digital currency, either a stable coin or a digital currency issued by the central bank. By the third quarter of 2025, XRP will be valued at $2,953.62 per unit and backed by gold. They will never use gold to support XRP. You really don't want that to occur. And I have stated that innumerable times the value of gold will be shifted by XRP. They still believe that you have to physically pack one of those gold bars in a backpack, board an airplane, and then drop it off at the other end. Bitcoin maxes. On a very tiny scale, tokenized gold is already taking place. I anticipate that will gain a lot of traction. The gold doesn't have to leave you. Need a bridge to move the value of that gold from point A to point B using digital assets, such as a digital dollar with a gold back. That bridge might be XRP. the value of gold will be shifted by XRP. It will have far greater value than a single ounce of gold. Citing volatility and ambiguous value, Microsoft, Amazon, and Meta reject the use of Bitcoin for treasury. You were aware that they would not release these reserves or treasuries. According to them, the reason for this is that significant tech company shareholders are expressing a desire to preserve predictability and stability due to concerns about volatility, regulatory uncertainty, and business focus. In the face of AI and digital change, the tech and cryptocurrency sectors are both rapidly changing. Therefore, companies seem eager to concentrate on their main operations rather than getting sidetracked by speculative assets. They'll concentrate on initiatives that will advance their company. Consider it this way. Why in the world would these corporations build a stockpile for something that doesn't answer their problems? Fiduciary obligation is offered. Businesses must strike a balance between innovation and shareholder devotion. Bitcoin is not compatible with a legal requirement to manage assets responsibly. The tech companies are aware that Bitcoin is worthless. However, given that they might use XRP to address their issues with cross-border payments, it is likely that these same corporations will establish an XRP reserve or the treasury in the upcoming months. They could also utilize it for on-demand liquidity. The bottom line is that Bitcoin doesn't address problems, and this image is the object of hatred for all Bitcoin maxis. Bitcoiners built Ripple. Bitcoin is equivalent to a beta test coin. The finished product is XRP. The truth will always be the truth, whether you like it or not. Everyone who owns XRP says the same thing. The 4 Satoshis include David Schwartz. However, the fact that Bitcoiners got money with the cryptocurrency is the reason they don't want to accept this. They just see that then. They are unable to look past that. It's as like investing in this cryptocurrency is a surefire way to win. No other cryptocurrency is visible. They also keep Bitcoin apart from the rest of the cryptocurrency market for this reason. They constantly attempt to market it as superior to XRP, XLM, XDC, and so on. However, it isn't. It's just old technology. Even with Trump's support, cryptocurrency is favoring MiCA over the US. You know, many businesses continue to choose to expand abroad, and I believe that's because the United States is falling behind. They are unable to complete any task in a reasonable amount of time. It appears that he even set an August deadline for crypto rules. Even yet, it ought to have occurred far earlier. Given that we have already lost 4 years with Biden, everything ought to have been expedited. The rest of the world is currently overtaking the United States, and if we keep moving in the same direction, that trend will continue. In Washington,